Okay, so here we are back in our scene where we've taken a sphere and sort of just mashed it up with by randomly just kind of moving some points around. This isn't always the best method for manipulating points, but I just wanted to get everybody familiar with how to, how to start manipulating geometry and using points and really understanding what a NURB surface is and what it's made of. So let's move our little weird rock shape out of the way here. I'm gonna keep it in my scene, so I'll move that out of the way, and let's create another NURBS sphere so you can get an idea of a little bit more about the components. So if I go ahead and say NURB sphere, and I look at this, so I'm gonna want to make this a little bit bigger. So I'll go and scale it up, and I'll go and add, let's say 10 sections, right? So 10, or maybe 12. I think 12 would be good. Okay, so now if we look at this object, so the first thing we did was manipulate points. You'll notice those points they don't exist on the surface of the object. They sort of sit way above the object, and that's because what they're doing is projecting a tangent. So it takes like 3 points to make a NURBS curve, and so you're seeing a series of those points redrawing the shape. Let's take a look at the next component that we can look at. So rather than just doing directly manipulating the points, we can go ahead and use what's called a hull. So a hull is like a row of points, and the way you select the hull is to simply click like between 2 points, see that section there, and then it'll know that you want to select that particular hull. So when you scale up the hull, you'll see I get this crazy mohawk type shape that pulls out of that I'm kind of scaling up out of the sphere. You'll notice like the points, everything converges to a point at the top and the bottom. And remember when we revolved around the surface, when we changed like the start and end sweep, we realized that this shape is actually open. So there's like a hole in the top and the bottom, and there's a seam, right? And so usually you wouldn't want to do this. You wouldn't want to scale just a single hull like this. But just for example, I'm showing you how the hulls work. So let's take a look at just kind of taking some of these. And first of all, let's add some more sections to this. So I'll go back to my I'll just go back to my object mode here. Select this guy, and then I'll go to my make NURB sphere here. And so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and create some more spans. So let me go ahead and go back here. So you might have to scroll through this stuff. So if you look down here, you'll see I have sections. So I have 12 sections, 4 spans. So I probably want some more spans here so I can manipulate this. So I'm going to make like a kind of a simple shape. And rather than selecting something on, that longitude shape, I'm going to want to select one that goes more like a latitude shape. So let me add some more spans here so I have some more to work with. And I'll go ahead and scale that guy up. So I went ahead and I grabbed that hull, which made a ring around the center, and then I scaled it up, and I get this sort of UFO shape. So, I can go ahead and manipulate all these different hulls, and as long as I scale by clicking the center of the hull there, I'll have a uniform scale, and so then it's symmetrical all around. Now, if you want to see through the object, you can pull up the hotbox at any time, and you can go to shading and go to X-ray mode. So there I can see inside of my object too, and possibly scale things that I couldn't quite select before, or move them. I can move them up and down. And if that gets bothersome, you can just turn that back off. But you can access the X-ray mode, or actually any component here, any of the Maya menus here by the hotbox by simply holding down the spacebar, and you'll have all the same sort of file menus and things like that. You'll have them in the hotbox here.